A good evening and a very warm welcome to the All Arsenal Review Show. My name's Liam. I don't know how I'm going to host the show tonight, but I'm going to do my very, very best. It may be one of the worst ones I've ever hosted, but in the background I've got Spurs versus Man City on. So obviously we'll see what's going on through there throughout the night. Just as we say that, Spurs are on the attack. Oh, and it's shot into keeper's hands. And yeah, so yeah, we got that going on in the background. We got to discuss Arsenal's 1-0 victory at Old Trafford on Sunday. We're going to look ahead to an incredible weekend, and I'm sure we'll be live when at the full time whistle of this game, and we'll clearly know what the task in hand is at that point. We're also going to review the women's last game of the season, and we're going to discuss obviously the sad news with Viv leaving the club at the end of the season, and we're also going to look ahead to obviously the groundbreaking news that obviously the women's team will be playing at the Emirates next year for their whole WSL campaign. So before I start, we're going to go and give a big warm welcome to my co-host G. How are you doing?
I don't have words. I'm doing horrendous. I think we're all in the same boat though, aren't we? There's news from our club. Great performance the other day. Obviously, this evening, the build-up has been horrific. But yeah, it's all part of the journey, isn't it? So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, definitely. And warm welcome to Ryan. How you doing, mate?
I feel a bit sick.
I don't blame you.
No, like, this is weird. I don't like this.
It's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Come on, Jonathan.
Oh, it's awful.
I think the listeners as well, the listeners just back on the audio platform, they get a good taste of how this podcast is going to go already. 2 minutes in.
Well, go right.
They are. We're definitely going. I think we're definitely going to get a lot going on. I'll tell you what is interesting though, Ryan. It's very Man City have not come out in this first half, have they?
Yet, touch wood.
Kick him. Oh,
saying that.
Break his ankle.
It's all good.
John, what? How many minutes you in, buddy? How many minutes you in?
So a big warm welcome.
Minutes, 35 seconds. Hello, beautiful. This is awful. It's like having your driving test and going to the dentist and being whacked in the buttocks at the same time.
You there, John?
It's just awful. Oh yeah, I'm here. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, just introducing you. How you doing, mate?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm good. Yes, I said it's like having your driving test and then waiting for the dentist and then getting whacked in the knackers, and it's just awful. It's just not enjoyable at all.
Everything's going wrong tonight. A good evening to Bess. How you doing, mate?
Well, I'm trying to be on top of it. I'm very well, thank you. How about yourself?
Yeah, I've had better days, and I could get better, hopefully.
If only. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
And I've got a warm welcome to Dan, who's making his debut tonight. How you doing, Dan?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me on. I'm really on edge right now. Just watching this Tottenham game on the background as well.
Anything can happen tonight, mate. Anything can happen.
Yeah, sure can.
36
I don't think I've ever seen the start of a podcast like this. Yeah, well, it's still 0-0, but I don't think I've ever seen the start of a podcast like this whatsoever. Everyone just looks like they're shitting themselves. Anyway, we got to talk about the Manchester United game at the weekend. 4:30 kickoff at Old Trafford. Yeah, we somehow delivered the goods. It weren't the best Arsenal performance. It won't go down as a vintage Arsenal performance, but needs must, and we got the win what we needed. Going to go over to you, G, first. Obviously, in terms of the lineup, no surprises really. Same team again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been saying it's the stage of like momentum and confidence within the players, isn't it? And having, as we've said before, Partey and Tomiyasu back and getting some fitness levels and looking really good for us. And yeah, I don't think there should have been any surprises either. I don't think anyone deserved to have come out of the lineup, to be fair. So yeah, really happy with it, and obviously, as I expected, it was a really tough watch. Can you hear me?
I think you might have to host this for a little bit. I think I'm losing my reception, and it's getting even worse.
No worries.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I'm gonna do this to Liam so I can hold him just to make sure he's
Take over the show.
Oh, what's going on?
All right. Anyway, so yeah, Ryan, anything similar with the
Oh,
feeling
hello.
of the starting 11?
What's all going on?
Ryan,
I can hear you, G.
can anyone?
I can hear you. Should I answer? What was your question? No.
Apologies,
that's
I was on,
all right.
apologies, I was on mute. Apologies.
Oh, no worries.
This is the best show ever.
We're all over the place
Oh
tonight.
my
It is
god,
what it is.
no. Oh god. No, it's like I missed. It's fine.
Go on, go for
No,
it.
but-
Starting 11.
Yeah, go on, John. Go on.
Oh, what am I cracking with? Sorry, G. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it picks itself at the moment, doesn't it? I mean, no one deserves to be dropped. The way they're all playing, you know, especially the back five, and obviously Partey and Rice in front. Although I have to say, I did think Partey was very ropey on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I know he's been missing games, but obviously people are out to moan about him. But what I would say, like this game, I mean, Man City do look very nervous, and we were very, very nervous on Sunday. I know we started off well the first couple of minutes, and Man United couldn't get out. But after that, I know we scored, but you could just tell that, and at the end of the day, they're only human, and it's just one mistake, and we would have been out of the title race completely. So to get the win, that was all that mattered. So we all saw the Man United side, and I was the same. I thought we could have given them a good beating because they were there to be, got at. But we won, and at this stage of the season, that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. And Bez, any other thoughts on the starting 11 and how the game went? Was it like what you thought it was going to go? Do you think we would have maybe pushed on a bit more when we scored the goal, or did you sort of expect that kind of like a bit nervous, a bit ropey performance?
Robbie, yes, but it just felt like United were up for a fight. They always up for a fight with us. Don't get me wrong. Knowing United, they're like, you know what, Arsenal, give us what you got. Give us the best you got. But for us, what I liked as well, how the fact is, how can I say this word? We sat back. Sorry, I can get easily distracted with this too. We sat back, and it's like, I just felt like we could have closed the game long before we scored as well. But thankfully, we got the job done. That's what I say. Thankfully, we got the win and a clean sheet as well, which is even better in that place as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Exactly.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's better. Cool. Yeah, like just going on to that, Best. Obviously, it was just literally about getting the 3 points, wasn't it? Like even when you're looking at this game now, Man City, they do seem nervous. This is like now, like our game. It's must win, isn't it? Because if they don't deliver tonight, like we didn't deliver, it's pretty much. You'd like to think, wouldn't you? If they don't win, title could be completely in our hands. And when you've got that onus that you've only got to win in front of your fans on the last game of the season, it will deflate the other team, won't it? Massively.
Mm.
Oh,
Right.
That's Bez now.
Yeah, I think we're all preoccupied tonight.
No. 41 minutes.
I'm
left,
up
G,
and talk
still
to a brick
0-0.
wall. But I'll go to G on that one. Do you think if obviously if Man City don't get the win tonight, do you pretty much think that would deflate them
Oh
going
my
into the last game?
Yeah.
God.
And I think as well, it just came into my head then that they've obviously not had someone. I know Liverpool in the COVID year was probably the only real challenge as far as it went. But they've sort of won it outright the last couple of seasons, haven't they? So they've sort of just been used to it going into the last couple of games, just playing as they want because it's already their title. So maybe it's sort of that now that they know from our result the other day. Obviously, maybe they were expecting us to fall at that hurdle like we have in previous seasons. Maybe that comes into how they're feeling right now, as that actually they haven't been in this position and they have a lot to lose, don't they, at this stage now, for once? So maybe that's that. But
they've
they're
got a very dangerous free kick. Sorry to interrupt.
on the plus side. I mean, on the negative side for us, they know what they're doing at this stage as well, don't they? So that I think that's what's making us feel worse.
I just think when you look at both teams, Arsenal and Man City going into the last game, and I don't want to deflate it just in case obviously Man City do get the win, but when you look at the both squads and how strong they are at the moment and how they both kept their full strengths running into the last 4 or 5 games of the season, you'd pretty much fancy who's heading the table that day at that point, wouldn't you, to kind of see it through?
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing tonight, isn't it? And if Man City don't get over the line, they probably haven't been in this position.
Go right. Oh, you're sorry, Liam. Sorry.
They probably haven't been in this position before, have they? Where they're chasing the title. So, the last time they were chasing it was Aguero. But to be fair, they went into that last game with QPR at the time. They should have wrapped it up really much quicker than the 94th minute. So it is an interesting one, I think, and I think it will be a very interesting one. Obviously, if Spurs do get some kind of result tonight, just going to go back over to you, Ryan. William Saliba. I know we had a conversation on there on Sunday about I thought he was superb again Sunday, and I just think in the big games that he stood up massively. Him and Gabriel. How good is that centre-back partnership delivery now for us?
Oh, it's fantastic. People need to remember as well, this is only their second season as a partnership. And pretty much 9 times out of 10, it's looked flawless. Saliba had to go, obviously, he signed for us. He went back to his previous club because he said in his interview, even back then, 18, 19, I want to go back and learn my craft, get all the mistakes out of me. So when I come back to Arsenal, I'm ready to go. Then obviously COVID came along. He lost both his parents in that COVID situation as well.
Did he really?
Then went back out on loan again to, was it Nice, halfway through the season, came back. Then we all thought, okay, he's going to come back. And then he had another loan, and we all got, what's he doing? But it's worked because he's got all the any sort of niggly issues you'd have as a raw talent out of your system, playing regular football in Ligue 1 for what it was. Played a bit of European football as well. Was it Marseille? I think it was. And he's in that last loan spell. And he's come to the Premier League and he hasn't looked out of place at all. I mean, his first start against Palace under the lights, he never looked out of place. And he is phenomenal. And Gabriel this season as well has stepped up. Because I know obviously there was a bit of we didn't know what was going on with Gabriel at the start of the season. He was on the bench for the first few games and this, that and the other. There's rumours that Saudi Arabia was interested and we needed to calm him down and things like that, just settle the ship there. But they've been, again, fantastic. Show me and name me in Europe, not just in the league, but in Europe, a better centre-back partnership that week in, week out against the big games, little games, mid games, turns up and puts in a flawless performance. And it's just, as I say, their second season as a partnership. And you're seeing lots of going toe lots of City, Liverpool this season. And this is they're what 23, 24, give or take, pair of them together.
Yeah.
They've got another 7-8 years in them if we play it right. Touchwood.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like when you start looking at that partnership and how young it is, and like you say, like the future of years ahead of us, like. Say, obviously Touchwood don't happen, but we don't win the title this year. As we said also on the show, we don't win it this year. We're only going to strengthen next year, so our squad's only going to be better than this year, and the same will happen next year. And the only reason that would derail is if obviously we made a big money sale go. But at the moment, I don't see that happening. Do you, G?
Not at all. And what a great position to finally be in, that we don't really have to worry about someone coming in and swooping our best players, isn't it? Because we've been so used to that and then had to rebuild again, whereas actually we've got our foundations and we're just adding what we need when we need it. But yeah, I mean, look at the example from last year. We're a much different team, in my opinion, to we were last year. And that's not just because of Declan Rice coming in. I think just the mentality of it and the physicality of our players has improved so much since last season. They've obviously learned from it, and we're taking it as far as we can this year. And it just, although it's going to be nice when the season sort of finishes, isn't it? Just to have a bit of a breather for a week or two.
Lie down in the dark room.
Already thinking about the summer transfers and getting it back in as soon as possible to see what we'll be like again next year when we're stronger as well.
Yeah, definitely. And going over to you, Dan. Havertz, yet again, massive influence in terms of the winning goal. Obviously, driving from the right at the time. He's been a difference maker, isn't he? Since, in my opinion, since we put him up top through the back end of January, moving into obviously the latter months of this season. Where do you see his potential for next season? Do you see us obviously buying a striker, or do you think that we might look elsewhere in terms of potentially the wing option and maybe kind of stick with him, or do you think we will get a number 9 in?
Yeah, it's a tough one because sometimes I'm like, I think he's the man up front, and then sometimes I'm like, we need that 20 goals a season goal scorer. He's really good, and I think he's done really well since the turn of the year. So since January, I feel like he's been a lot better than what he was the first half of the season. So I would quite like to see how he does from the start to the end of the season at this form he's on. And he also just gives us a different sort of style of play, because I remember at one point all we wanted to do was just pass out the back, and now we can hit it long because you see him, he's always a bit aggressive up there, he's always trying to back into the defender, win the header, knock it on. So yeah, I'm ready. I would stick with Havertz. I think I would see how he gets on up front for a whole season. I think we can hold off the striker for a bit. But then again, I don't know. See, I'm back and forth with it. If we can get a decent striker in, maybe I would quite like an Isaac as well.
Yeah.
Then
I think.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I think, like you say, I think if there's an option to get that player in, then get that player in. But you don't just want to rush a player in just to get a player in, do you? And Arsenal are very good at that, ain't they? Not getting a player in just for the sake of getting a player in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And we're doing well and we're improving all the time. So you're right. We don't just need to rush them in. We need someone that's going to come in and fit in and be part of the system. Yeah, so it's a tough one. I feel like, like I said, I'm back and forth with it. I don't know. I feel like the first half of the season, in the December, we was like, we need one. And then after after December, we was like, but we don't need one again. And now we have those 1 or 2 games, maybe like the Villa game, and we're like, we do need one. So,
I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? But obviously, I'm sure the questions will go on. For me, we do need one, but what as important for me, I think we need a left winger as well. I think Martinelli's kind of stagnated this year, whether it's down to injuries, confidence, or whether he's just not progressing into the player that we want him to become. And I just think there needs to be a little bit more stiffer competition. Like Trossard's come in and done an incredible job. Do I see Trossard being the answer probably next season, the season after? Probably not, if I'm being totally honest with you. But do you know what? He's come in, he's scored big goals, and he's got us to where he is now. I just think, though, if you've got a left winger in who can potentially get you 15, 20 goals, Havertz could be like that Firmino for Liverpool, do you know what I mean? And he might not be as relevant in terms of needing the goals, but it all depends on what strikers are available, really. That's my kind of thought process on it. What's your kind of thought process, Bess?
I totally echo you. We simply need to be ready. Like, we want this guy, we want that guy, but just not just for the sake of it. Say tomorrow, I'm saying my only foreshadowing, we say we get Watkins. We need a player who understands the club for what he's made of. Because as I said previously, we need someone who understands the fan base, the club, and what it means to play for the club. How much is a joy, you know? I'll use the Xhaka as example. He was very erratic when he first started. He literally went through hell, shall we say. The way that he came back last season, and I met Dan in that period as well. He's one of my best mates right now. And I said to him, how the fact is, he inspired me as a man because we technically from the same origin, and to see him how he turned around his career. Now what he's doing in Bayern Leverkusen. It just amazed me to think that surely there must be a player. I know it's hard these days. Football's not the same it used to be, as we all know. But we need a player who understands the Arsenal DNA, you know, what it gives us as a whole fan base. Gives us this lift that we're in cloud 9 right now, you know, even what things going around, you know, how the fuck we escaped that bandit era. And I'll be honest with you, it's just, I can't find the right words to describe. even now, as much as I want Watkins, and I'm thinking who do I next? Even Isak is a good shout. I mean, we need maybe that tall, lanky guy probably provides that that physical presence in that final third that we sometimes a little bit. You can see this, we lacked a bit of it. So I'm just go for someone, but as you say as well, just don't go for just because you want to just get him and make the headline. Oh, you just find a striker and shut this, pundit / media off. No, just get someone who wants to play for us, not because just he's forced to, and then let's say he gets unsettled tomorrow, and then his career goes to crap, which is sad. Some players already in our club already feel like they're gonna go at this rate, which is really disappointing.
No, definitely, and I think obviously when you talk about kind of, I think whatever happens next in the summer anyway, I think Havertz will naturally start up there because Arteta's not the kind of manager to panic and just throw someone in straight away. He does like to, like you say, ease them into the club, get him to know the position and what he wants from them, and then kind of embeds them in. Going over to you, John, because obviously I know you're a big Ollie Watkins fan. Even called, you're a big Ollie Watkins fan, mate. You've been calling his name.
Yeah, I've got a picture of him on my wall.
How much would you pay for him, though, mate? What would you actually pay for him? Because obviously they're going to be in the Champions League potentially next year, aren't they, Aston Villa?
No, they're not going to be because Tottenham are going to win and Villa are going to blow it.
That's not what we want to hear.
It does depend. If they do get in the Champions League, you're looking at 100 million, I reckon, because it's just the crazy prices now. And to be fair to him, the amount of goals I think he's got the same amount of goals as he has assists. And that's ridiculous, really, in the top league, to be honest. I think he's very good. He's very young. I think he used to support Arsenal. I don't know if I'm making it up, but I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah, he's an Arsenal.
And English tax, just, that
28 years old, though. 28 years old.
Oh, I didn't know he was
28 years old.
Oh, I don't want him anymore. I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah, he's 28, mate.
Oh,
No,
okay. Well, that
28.
changes a lot of things. Yeah, that does change a lot of things. I didn't know he was that old. I'll take him, but how much are you going to pay for? Yeah.
Well, you're looking at 40 million now, are you?
Well, no. If they
If
don't get in the Champions League, you could get away with maybe 60, 70 million, or some sort of deal. There's a few players, bless him, like your Smith Rose and that could be having around, surplus to requirements. They could do some sort of deal, but. Yeah, you're looking at about £100 million for Watkins if they get in the Champions League because of what he's done this year. So, I think he's a great player, but I had no idea he was 28. I have to say, every day's a school day. But that does change things. I think if you look, I like the Sporting Lisbon lad. I can never say his name properly. Victor Guduric.
I'm not going to go there.
I thought he was mid-20s, but I could be completely wrong about ages now.
I think he's only about 23, isn't he?
Yeah,
23, 24.
He does look the real deal. But
I think
you don't know these days. I mean, Declan Rice, we kind of knew, and it's turned out even better than we could ever have dreamed of. But obviously, with some strikers, it's always very, very difficult. Lukaku, bless him, he scored goals in most places, but he comes over here and he struggles. Even the great Thierry Henry took a while. You just never tell. You do need a striker, I believe. I mean, Isak would be a great shout. But again, how much would he cost? And B, he has got a few injuries, which do worry me. But he's
the only good thing is, though, you have got Havertz still there, haven't you? So you can kind of manage his workload.
He's been superb.
I think if it was me, I'd like in a dying option. I think I'd go Isak at the moment. I think they've got a few injuries, but I think you've got the option with Havertz that you can kind of rotate it a little bit and kind of just manage his workload, hopefully. And I think at his age and the profile striker, I think he'd be unbelievable in this team. I naturally do, and we can offer Champions League. We've competed for the title 2 years in a row now. Okay, if we don't get over the line this year, we will go again next year, and I think we'll be even stronger for it. So, it's an appealing time, isn't it, for players to come to the club? And it's not about us knocking on their door now, or they're knocking on our door now. It's about us knocking on their door. If we want them, then we'll go for them. And gone are the years of obviously us being just linked with absolute anyone. I think now we're getting a certain profile of player now that even the press know that we're not going to go out and just go and buy anyone for the sake of it. We will look at the very best players. And I think that's proven with Declan Rice last year. We'll go big now, but maybe the volume of players coming in will be at a more minimal level. Going to go back over to you, Ryan. Manchester United, we'll just quickly go into them. Obviously, another defeat for them. Season's ended up quite miserably at the moment. They have got a loophole out the FA Cup final. Can't really see them turning that round to beat Man City. Are you on the approach that it's probably the back end of Ten Hag's reign there now?
I'm surprised he survived past Christmas. I thought he would have gone then. It was that bad even back then. But hey, I'm an Arsenal fan. We've all grown up in that era of Man United, the Fergie era. So seeing their demise, I'm enjoying it. They enjoy our demise.
I think he's doing a good job.
Oh, he's doing a fantastic. I said on Sunday, give him a lifetime contract. No, but all jokes like literally, it's like I don't injuries and all that aside that he's going through at the moment. Start of the season, there's no excuse to be playing the way they've been playing this year. They are absolutely woeful. This is his second season. You think after the first season, getting the top four, getting a cup under his belt, no matter what the cup was, got a cup under his belt. Could have had two if he hadn't bottled it against City in the final of the FA Cup. You'd think then they'd kick on, but the Ronaldo situation, that was his Aubameyang moment, if anything, and he's not really dealt with it since then really well. And it's just one thing after another. But the things what we're seeing that he's going to, the problems he's having with certain players, they're injured and then they're not, and then they've got Varane announcing today he's leaving the club. I think we've seen it before. We saw this when Van Gaal was there, Moyes and Mourinho and whoever else has been there since Fergie. Because the ego that, or whatever reason, that club with the players, they haven't achieved nothing, to be honest, compared to the Fergie era, is poison. It's a poison chalice in the first place, that job, because of what Fergie did all them years back. But it is a disaster. And all these Man United fans that think that Sir Jim and his mates are going to come in and save the world and all that. Oh, they're going to give us a new stadium. Okay. Why about the one that's flooding at the moment? But cool. No, I don't think they've only got 25% in the club. So the be all and end all, everything has to go through one way or another, go through the Glazers. So nothing's going to change. And I'm all here for it because they're going to be here the same time next year and the year after that, sacking the managers, saying they're the issue. And the actual issue is the fact that the Glazers are still there.
They spent a lot of money on rubbish as well. That's, if
if
Arsenal had signed a player like Anthony, he would be getting pelters every week. He just goes under the radar because he's just rubbish. Martial, another one. Hoyland, £75 million. This is a lot of money on crap.
What was it, 50 million £50 million on Casemiro, who's at the end of his career. Yes, he won Champions League. He's got 5-time Champions League winning and all that, but he's coming to the end of his career as it was. He's only done 2 years and he's out of it because you've got no Europe. So he's like, I'm out of it. Bye. You had a Golden Glove winning a goalkeeper. Yes, he had mistakes in De Gea, but you then replaced him with someone else that he worked with before at Ajax. It hasn't worked out so far. And also bringing back Johnny Evans. 10 years.
Well, that's a strange one, isn't it?
Great move.
That's the best thing ever. That was like, well, hey, bring it on at the Emirates back in September and all that. It's like fantastic. £80 million on the bridge.
I think
it is what it is, and it's not going to. Yeah, Ten Hag will be gone, but come the end of the month and all that. But
if they win the cup, he might stay.
Oh yeah, let's hope so.
Well, if they win the cup, they can't sack him if they win the cup.
Well, they can. They sacked the manager in 2016, mate. They sacked the manager in 2016.
Yeah, Van Gaal.
That might be a saving grace.
Van Gaal got sacked for him. Van Gaal got sacked for the FA Cup. I don't think the FA. I've got to be honest, I don't think the FA Cup really naturally saves him anything. If I'm being totally honest, if the way I look at it, right, is the way managers go into press conferences, and when you've got a manager who continuously goes into a press conference, and I will bring up the example, keeps going on about a game that happened in September. If he's doing that in a press conference, do you know what I mean? What effect does that have on the players? Do you know what I mean as well? It's not naturally positive, is it? It's not naturally saying, "Come on, lads," do you know what I mean? Forget about that game. We're going back and dwell on that game. Do you know what I mean? I just think that he's a massive part of that problem, and he can cry and moan as much as he likes. He's got these injuries and that, but naturally, he hasn't managed it well, has he? He hasn't managed it well whatsoever.
That suit he was wearing was horrible and all.
I just think he's out of his depth there now. I think too much has happened there. I think it's embarrassing for Manchester United, the Jadon Sancho situation at the moment. He's going to be playing in the Champions League final for Dortmund, and he's on loan there.
Amazing.
It's embarrassing, though, isn't it? It's embarrassing. Like they made him out to be this really bad egg and all that. He's gone back.
What are they doing? Sorry,
They started
pitching around at the back. Yeah, Tottenham are fucking around at the back, and they nearly scored. You're not Arsenal. Honest to God.
But yeah, Dan, don't know what your thoughts are on it. But,
I think the Jadon Sancho situation, that is when it just went from bad to worse. Because the way he dealt with that, calling them out and all of that stuff, I think a lot of players, especially Rashford, I reckon they would have been close. And Rashford was really hurt by that. And I think you can just see it, because even when United have done okay, Rashford is still being pretty bad. So I just feel like you're right. Ten Hag's not going to stay, even if he does win the FA Cup. There's no hope for him. And to be fair, this is Man United's worst ever season. You should be sacked. But as much as I would like him to stay, I can't see it. And I think Radcliffe and all of that, they're there to change the club. Even though they've only got the 25%, they are there to change the whole structure of it.
He's a big presence. He doesn't get that amount of money by not being ruthless.
Do you think, Dan, if the Coventry goal didn't get disallowed on VAR in the 120th minute, do you think they'd have sacked him there and then?
Oh, you would have had to, man. Come on, you can't be 3-0 down or 3-0 up to Coventry and then lose 4-3. That would have been the biggest embarrassment of that would have been rock bottom. I mean, you can't get any lower than that because they're never going to get relegated. But for a club that's got so much money and spends so much, that is rock bottom. Right now is pretty much rock bottom. You can't really get any worse for United.
No,
Would
definitely
anyone
not.
take Sancho? Would anyone take Sancho at Arsenal? I would.
No, I don't think so. No.
I think there's definitely a player there. He's reborn at Dortmund. You think Arteta wouldn't get the best out of him with Saka and Rice, man?
I mean, to be fair, yeah, Arteta would definitely get a better player out of him.
I think he's back at home now, isn't he? In his opinion.
I was saying the same about Rashford though. I'll take him as well, but I know you'll hate him.
Well, I think there's a player in Rashford. I think in the right setup, I think there is a player in Rashford. I think a lot of people do dismiss him because there is a bit of a problem. There is an attitude problem there, but it's that.
Sorry, I feel awful.
I've got you, Beth. Is that because of what's going on at the club in Ten Hag? Don't get me wrong, Rashford has to take some accountability, but there is a player there, isn't there?
There is. I'll be sure with you. There is, because when we see time to time, he's a big game player. When he was, let's say, last season compared to this season, unfortunately this year, from what I see, right, he's treated Rashford the same way he's treated Sancho, which is really kind of strange from Ten Hag. When you think about it, if I'm correctly saying this, he forced the move for Anthony, yet somehow now he was talking about the Arsenal game for all the period of the season until now. The game happened in September. He literally, every conference I kept seeing, the Arsenal game, the Garnacho goal was onside. I'm thinking, for the life of me, please, as a football manager who calls himself an established football manager now in his head, surely but surely, grow up, move on. Grow some cojones, shall we say, without saying all the, the strong words now, but,
You tell him. Go on.
I mean, I do them. I can let it out. One thing I'll say to you as well, I did like Van Gaal. Van Gaal, for me, he got the job done. Okay, I'm talking now as a football fan. He got them well due to the point that they kind of had, something building up there. And then somehow they just get rid of him. I'm thinking, are you sure? At least Van Gaal had some more of a presence as a manager. He wasn't weak-minded from what I saw. But having Erik ten Hag, I'm just thinking, he just seems so subdued. He speaks in the media, you asked me this. But then he goes to something else. And then somehow in his bracket, you can almost hear there's always Arsenal in his checklist. I have to mention Arsenal as if he already hates Arsenal. That's what I feel like, Honestly, I think one of the pundits, I won't say the name now because I know
there's a big queue there, mate. There's a big queue there for people that hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Come on now.
leave football before it leaves you. Well, I'll say Ten Hag can be in that fucking, excuse my language, in that list, you know, because I feel
Yeah.
like he clearly even like I see the fan base now. Some of them in the other podcasts. At least they're saying to us, "Fair play, Arsenal. You played ugly, but you won. Good." But the manager never ever see this man give us credit. We went in our place the way we did was class. No credit. We went on Sunday, no mention, like no class, like nothing. You see it when we used to lose these sort of games.
Fuck's sake.
John
Sorry,
had to know
score.
Wilder.
Man City scored.
He
Yeah, sorry.
Aw.
Oh well, it is
behind
what it
us.
is.
That then.
Oh,
That's
man.
what it
Anyway,
is.
And
to crack on with it. I don't want to keep on to.
It's,
Who scored? Of
De Bruyne to Haaland.
course it is. Of course it is. Of course
Yeah,
it is.
right across the box.
I'm behind my stream. I'm behind.
I've turned it off, mate. I could
mean-
do it.
yeah,
I
turn it
could
up.
do
You
it.
see Tottenham doing the Poznan soon, ain't they? Is it a
Are they?
Like, they will be, I bet, though.
Yeah, they're an embarrassment now. The thing is, yeah, right, whatever happens, Tottenham are in no-win situations today, don't they? They go and win, they hand us the title. If they go and lose, they're out of the Champions League. And the problem they got now with being out of the Champions League this year is Chelsea are going to spend a lot of money again next season. We know they will. And Chelsea will be literally gunning for that, I think, Champions League football next year. So when you start looking at Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, I think it's going to get even harder for Tottenham if they don't get in there this year. So it's going to really affect them not winning it. But
Can Chelsea
Yeah.
still finish above Tottenham? I think they can, can't they?
I think they can. Yeah, I think they can. I think they can.
I think them and Newcastle both can.
Newcastle can be next year as
They
well.
both got a game in hand, and they play tomorrow night. Newcastle
Yeah.
away to United and Chelsea away to Brighton.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's 1-0 City. Anyway, we're going to go on. I'm not going to talk about the Everton game yet because I don't really see the point of talking about the Everton game until we kind of clearly know what's kind of going on in that game. So just going to do some a roundup on the women's game, the team first. So obviously the first big news coming out, G, of the club is obviously Viv Miedema going to be leaving at the end of the season. I weren't that surprised, if I'm being totally honest. I think the writing was on the wall. I think it's been on the wall for a couple of seasons now. What's your kind of thought process now that obviously you've been able to kind of recuperate it for the last 24 to 48 hours?
Yeah, I'm with you. It wasn't really a surprise to hear it happen because you could kind of sense it. Obviously, before she did her ACL, she signed like a 1-year extension. So it was never like she hasn't really been committing the years to finish her career at Arsenal. It's just sort of been, yeah, I'll stay for 1 more year. And then obviously the ACL happened, so that was a thing. Yeah, obviously it's devastating. I mean, you can't deny the impact she's had on the WSL, and she will be if she managed to regain her form before the ACL, then she'll be an animal still. She's still young. Yeah, it's just what would be really horrific is if she goes to, well, they're saying City. I mean, to do that would be really bad for us because if she hits form playing against us, that's not looking good for us, is it? And I was surprised it wasn't entirely her decision, I think, because they're saying, I mean, we don't know it's true, do we? There's lots of rumours flying around, but saying that the club didn't offer her a new contract. So it's basically like, well, we don't need you anymore. Off you go. I think it may be, it's hard to say, isn't it? Because she obviously has had a few issues with her knee since and hasn't really came back into the team consistently since recovering. But if she can get it again, she's some player, and to miss out on that, it's a huge thing, isn't it? But then I guess on the other hand, we've strengthened, the club has strengthened, and the league has strengthened since, so we weren't so reliant on her anymore. Yeah, it'll be interesting because I think she's not the only one that's going to be departing, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's not the only shock as well.
Do we think there's
Oh God, no! I hope not.
But am I correct in thinking that they're together, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
That's
if
right.
she wants to get a move abroad, she might want to go with her.
I think that is a very interesting situation. That could be a very interesting situation. Do we think there's an issue between her and the manager, or do we just think that's someone getting blown out of proportion?
I don't know, because I know it sounds harsh, but quite a lot of the women's fan base, I don't think they like follow the football for the football. Quite a lot of them seem very like immature about, and straight away have been sending him death threats, and that's just ridiculous. You know, it's not going to be the manager's decision entirely to get rid of a player, is it, or not offer a contract? It's the whole club, they're all involved, aren't they? So yeah. But there is a video going around today of when she was going to come on against Everton. Obviously, we were struggling in that game. And someone's filmed it from behind one of the goals, like through the net. She's getting ready to come on, and he says something to her, and like to point back to the bench. And then she sort of like goes back and sort of not goes for him, but had a word with him, which looked a bit frosty. So
yeah,
if that's the case,
it's
then
an
it's
interesting
never
one,
good.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's never good if he's going to start losing players because of him. Because we all know how we feel about him being at the club long term as well.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with you, Ryan, because obviously you do a lot of coverage with the women's team on and off air. What's your kind of thoughts on the news with Viv? Yeah, and do you feel that there's been an issue between her and the manager?
First off, I was gutted. I couldn't believe it. I literally took me off by surprise because I wasn't expecting it to come now. I thought maybe on the day itself or something, it might make something else what I did with Raffaelli last year. But in terms of it, there might be, because she came out from an ACL. There's a setback. And Jonas made it clear in the press conference for the international break that they knew about it for like 2 or 3 weeks prior. They knew she had to have surgery, but they're going to let her go off on international duty to then come back and have her surgery, but she'll be back for the final. But she wasn't back for the final. And even since then, she's been in the matchday squads, but she's not really been used. And then you're seeing this video today circulating around. It doesn't look good on Jonas, put it that way. Don't condone the behaviour from people on other people, what they're doing and all that either, but it doesn't look good, and especially if you've got Steen. We've been speaking heavily about Steena. I think that was more. I was expecting that more to be announced actually, in terms of outgoings, because her contract's up. This could be if it becomes a onslaught of outgoings this summer, it could be a difficult season for Jonas if he survives that long.
I just see a couple of Tottenham fans trying to do pots down.
To
be honest, it was only a couple, and the geezer looked embarrassed next to him. They're starting to want to sing now, are they? Interesting. I don't think they realise the ramifications that I tell you what would be beautiful. I was thinking about this. That Man City do go and win this game, and then West Ham go and get a draw against Man City. It'd be even better, wouldn't it?
I'd piss myself.
It'd be absolutely superb.
I'm just not going to comment because I don't want to get in trouble.
Kevin De Bruyne's going.
Is he going off?
Well, Kevin De Bruyne looks like he's coming off.
It was one of those. He trod on the back of his he caught the back of his heel. It was almost like he trod on him. I mean, he went down like he'd been shot, to be honest. But
can't we just see Rodri go? If we get Rodri off now,
there's no protection. He's fine. No, he's coming back on again.
Is he coming back on?
Oh.
Yeah, he's coming back on.
I'm like a
you'll try and come back on, won't you?
But it's still only 1-0, though.
Yeah, going over to you, Bess. Obviously, you had a few comments in the old group today. Obviously, you've gutted that. Obviously, Viv's going. Do you think there could be a knock-on effect with players like Bev Mead and that moving forwards?
I totally think so. I mean, don't get me wrong. As much as I've done the Arsenal lately the last couple of years, seeing Vivio is going to be quite strange because I'm sorry, I've said it before as well. Jonas has this thing which I do see. How can I say this to you without comparing to Arteta? He does not know any skills how to manage his players, how to come to that level to say, guys, you came for a bad injury, surely support the damn player. Like, what is he thinking? Even that video, because I've shared in the group as well, I'll send it to Dan as well if he's not seen it yet, just to see how manager reacts. I'm sorry, but the lady's been out for a while. She's been in class since 2018. Now, for us, she's a legend because what she's done quite with such for us, and yet he's here now, completely dismissing her. I'm sorry. I'm going to blame him because yes, the player will eventually leave any club, but someone like surely will see. He will see himself support the player when they need the most help. Yes, you didn't play her. Yes, he's got a bit of ego. We all know as football fans, sitting out there thinking he's got a bit of ego as well. But surely, man, he has to step up as a manager. I keep saying he needs to control his ability to manage his players better. We said as well when Alessia Russo first came in, he kind of said that she needs to play to improve to be a better player. I mean, sorry, she came from a decent club. Now where she's now, okay, great. She's in top of the world. She is, despite us just winning that League Cup, and the league now apparently now for us is gone. But still, Mink. Yes, again, it's a big injury, but come on, man, support your player when especially she needs.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's frozen out.
No, I'm here.
No,
Yeah,
Spurs
Spurs look threatening. Sorry, I know that's a weird thing to say, but
it's painful.
Oh,
It's threatening and it's threatening, mate. I think it's tedious threatening at the moment. Threatening that they don't really want to score, but their manager wants them. Their manager seems like to be the only person in the old stadium who's showing a bit of passion, to be fair.
yeah.
Mind
I
you,
know
just now,
today.
Bentancur come off and he kicked the shit out of the chair. He had the right hand. He was going mad. He was probably booting things around.
Just going over to you, Dan, on this situation, yeah, right? Could this deflate him as a manager? Like this kind of game, the atmosphere dead.
Ooh.
He's trying to get him into Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good look, is it? I was listening to TalkSport today because I was just want to soak up some of that feeling for the game tonight. And so many Tottenham fans were calling in. It was way more than ones that wanted them to actually win.
Interesting that they're not showing it on the telly. It looks like Edison might have a bad injury. Sorry. They're not showing it on the screen. Someone in for the ball, and I think he's smashed into him. Oh, no, it looks like he's up now. No.
He's all flat. He's all flat in the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's a bad
they've got it back on the telly now. There's people come over with a stretcher because they completely disappeared off the screen, and normally that's not good. But I think he might be knocked out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he took the Miro's knee to the face.
Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah. If only they'd done that at the start of the game. They could do that all the players at the start. They might have won. Bless them. Not relying for nothing.
Sorry, back over to you, Dan, on that. Obviously saying you watch this since TalkSport.
Yeah, so many Tottenham fans they didn't even want to win today. And you think there's an opportunity to get into the Champions League, earn all of that Champions League money, opportunity to get some better players in. But they was more bothered about stopping us on getting any hopes of winning the title. And Big Ange was the only one from the camp just standing up and being like, what fan would want your team to not win? And he's right. It doesn't even matter what happens.
He's run them into the ground this week. It's been great. You see his comments about the bragging rights walking past the trophy room. Well, there's no trophies. There's no bragging rights. It's great. Isn't it? How embarrassing. Your club's manager literally saying you don't win shit at all.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be said, though, don't it, really, as it is? You know what I mean? Like, he wants to get into the Champions League, which obviously generates more money, which then gets you better players in, which then improves your competition against the better teams. So I think it's a big deficit that they failed to get in the Champions League. I know everyone didn't think they were getting there at the start of the season, but when they went and beat Aston Villa 4-0 at Villa Park, they were absolute in pole position, weren't they, for it?
Yeah. Daniel Levy will be fuming, mate. You and me both know how much he likes his pennies. And this new stadium wasn't cheap. And, their debts are going to be going more and more. And that, like I said, that big chunk of, was it 150 million for Champions League, something like that, and all the revenue that goes with it? That's a lot of money. And you think, some of the players going to say, actually, this is cheering me up, actually. There's so-called good players like Son. What does Son want to be there for? He's done his time. He's seen Harry Kane go off and win trophies. This is all what's all going on. So let's revel in their misery because.
I don't think Harry Kane won anything this season.
No, he hasn't. It's a shame, isn't it? He's got a golden boot, which bizarrely looks like a cannon.
Awesome cannon, right?
Well, he was an Arsenal fan as a kid, so I'm sure he liked it.
And he's,
Sure,
and he's wearing all,
to his Arsenal shirts when he was 8 years old.
and as of next season, he's wearing all red at home.
Yeah, even better. Even
Yeah.
better.
It suits him. As always, it suits him, Ryan. It suits him.
Oh yeah.
Looking into the last game of the season, obviously Brighton at home this weekend, 3:00 kickoff at Meadow Park. Nothing riding on this game whatsoever. Can we go to you, G, again on this one? Do you think we'll be planning for next season with this game? Maybe experimenting again in terms of players. I know we did a bit against Man City, but we actually went and delivered a knockout performance. But do you think we'll experiment again looking at next year now?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll probably see a team quite close to what he put out against City. I think like Harakuni Cross coming in, obviously maybe Friedemann coming in, getting some minutes as well. But yeah, like you say, it's got nothing really riding on it now, has it? Despite what Spurs and Chelsea might do tomorrow night, it's not gonna go anywhere, is it? So yeah, I think it's just one of those, get the season done, finish as highly as possible. I was there last season and we ended up losing 2-0 to Villa, and it was a real damn, like, again, there was nothing riding on the game, but they just didn't really turn
Sounds
up.
like the men's game, G.
Yeah, so I hope they sort of, give it a good game to finish the season on a high. But yeah, that's all you can ask for really at this position, isn't it? We're not fighting for anything.
So to the keeper.
Just gotta end the season as high as possible, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Another
It is
sellout
about.
crowd.
Yeah, it is definitely about obviously getting that last win of the season, finishing on a high. Looking forward to next season, and also with the manager next year, he has to deliver next year, don't he? There can't be no more not competing for the title. He needs to have a decent run in the Champions League yet again. Obviously, this year was we won't discuss it again, but obviously it's something we need to do better next year. There's a lot of things to kind of work on, isn't there, over the summer? Getting the right players in and trying to compete next season to topple either Chelsea or Man City.
Yeah, that's the goal, isn't it? We know, as fans of the WSL, all we've been saying for years is we want it to be more competitive, and that's where it's reaching now. It's it's not just the top three. Obviously, Man United are up there. They just won the FA Cup for their obviously first time. Then you've got
Who would they be in the final?
Villa here and smashed them in the final. You've got Villa here and thereabouts. It's getting a lot more competitive, so we've got to remain as high as we can, and of course get players in and get them in nice and early before we go to these sort of Champions League qualifiers and pre-season. We obviously, luckily, don't, as I said before, don't have a tournament other than the Olympics, so there's only a few players that are going to be out for that. So hopefully they will come back refreshed and ready to go, and that's all we can ask for, really, because the most we go in the competition, the more games that are going to be then available at the Emirates.
Well, sorry, Edison and De Bruyne
Yes,
have come
so
off.
he is.
Edison looked absolutely angry.
But
Yeah.
he looks really wonky though, doesn't he? Looks really concussed.
Yeah.
Is there
Well,
a
you will
footballer?
after-
I know in rugby, I think there is a footballer.
Yeah.
If you come off with concussion, you can't play in the next game. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's
Am I
out. Then.
making that up?
If he's been taken off for concussion reasons,
He shouldn't be
That's
playing.
right,
in
That's
five.
why he's come off, because of that collision with Son.
he can't play for the
Yeah,
next
but-
7 days.
Makes me laugh. They can win the league and they're booting things.
Well,
Strange club.
It's interesting they both come off, so let's see how that one pans out over the next few days. But no, Edison.
I have to say, I mean, watching. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Well done. Spurs have actually played all right. for Spurs.
Yeah, but they're losing, mate.
I know.
They're losing.
I
They're
know,
losing.
I know. But I'm saying
That's
it's still
only
only
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
That's all I give a shit about. Don't give them no credit. They're losing.
Well, they're losing. They always lose. But, if they could have a shot on target, it'd be nice. 20
Yeah,
minutes
exactly.
ago, still only 1-0. I'm clutching the straw.
There's gonna be a lot of-
positive.
There's going to be a lot of injury time in this game. I think there's going to be at least 7 minutes at the moment. What I'm seeing, because obviously De Bruyne down, him down. That's taken. There's going to be a lot of injury time, so it could end up being quite a nerve-wracking finish here. So let's see what kind of happens. Yeah. So yeah, obviously with the Brighton game, as G said, is obviously one to kind of finish the season strongly. Ryan, any expectations for you on Saturday? Anyone that you think could come in and possibly start? that be out of the ordinary?
You might see some of the young blood coming through. That either like Michelle, back from her loan spell, she was on the bench against his City. She might start. You might see like Frida, Kim start as well. Apart from, I don't know.
Shoot! You got. Oh, you can't. Oh, sorry.
Saved it.
Maybe
It's
being
just-
dropped for
This is
Sabrina.
awful.
That's
Yeah.
Kulusevski. He's an Arsenal fan, Kulusevski. Oh, that's so unlucky, actually. He saved that in between his legs. A bit harder, that's gone in, you know.
Here he is.
That's someone sniffing. Someone sniffing.
Who's that dickhead?
He's a Chelsea
How
man.
is he? He can do one then.
He's waiting for your misery, mate. That's what he's waiting for.
Yeah,
He's
I
waiting
can
for your
imagine.
misery. And he will pounce, mate.
Really? Sounds like a predator. Go on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've got nothing to fight for, really. I think it's gonna be run of the mill win, but it'd be like feel like end of season game. Really. Yeah. It's just.
And what's your thoughts on the news coming out today around the WSL? All the games being at the Emirates Stadium. That's positive news for firstly for the women's team, but also the stadium in general.
For the women's team more so, because I've been saying for the last couple since they started introducing it via Champions League initially, I've been saying at some point that, especially when they did the artwork, because I added in the artwork they did around the stadium, that's clearly the mindset is to make the stadium inclusive to everyone at the club, not just for the men and this senior team. But for this to happen this quick, and I think they're now in the coffin to confirm to go ahead with this plan next season was probably the Leicester game, because like G said a few weeks ago, the Leicester game wasn't part of the package at the start back in the summer, and then obviously over 40,000 people came for that game, so the demand is still there even for against the lesser mid-table teams, if you will. And I think it's a no-brainer. We just need to now, squad-wise and team-wise, kick on and start competing. Because just to maintain their numbers again.
I don't even know who you are.
Oh, you will, mate. Yeah, no, it is. I think it is positive news. Like, obviously, with the amount of money they're making through the stadium, it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Going to go over to you, Bess, on it. Are you happy with the news? Do you see it inspiring us, or do you think it could inspire other teams as well, like coming to the Emirates? Because obviously they won't be used to kind of playing on them kind of stadiums.
I mean, it's a positive thing because if it's since the ladies at all, they've grown a lot the last few years. So why not give them more chance to play? And plus, hopefully, this manager, I swear to God, hopefully he's not so naive. Just utilize the big occasion as much as you can. Now, don't like crumble, because when we saw like him, his team winning the other day, he won against City, a bit too late, shall we say? But I just feel like his tactics have been a bit flat, you know. Now the man knows surely there's ways to utilize Alessio Russo and Black Stenius, but for me, I'm still a bit annoyed. The way Vivian Miedema, that's why I wrote in Dutch in my headline, the way she's been thrown on the bus is like, surely you could, okay, yes, she came for a big injury, but he didn't even play at all. From our season, he just gave up on her. And I've seen a video, that's why I'm very upset seeing that video, the way he just like, she challenged him, which she has every right to, and he just almost just pushed out the way to say, excuse me, like, I'm the manager, whack. I mean, frustrating at the best, that's what I say. That's why I'm a bit upset with it. But annoyed as well for the fact the man can't control his, I don't know, how do I say this? He needs to manage better. The players see what he has, He needs to support them, not to say the good times now, as we know. I know said earlier, not just for the bad time, but support them when they feel that they're up for a fight. It's a bit like similar like the Erik ten Hag story. It's like you blame your players and then they're not playing. Then blame your players again, they're not playing. And then, as you said, you make Sancho look like a skateboard. I mean, Sancho now must be laughing, as you guys said earlier. Then he's going to play Champions League final in a couple of weeks. I mean, hello. This is just silliness how these managers just forget sometimes the bigger player, sometimes, shall we say, needs more recognition, needs more of the understanding to say, let them, as I think when I placed in Arsenal men's, let us have the freedom of the pitch. We'll deliver you what we want us to do. Let us be free. Let us enjoy ourselves. Some of them make it look easy. Some struggle, Some take the pitch like duck to water. But unfortunately for me, this manager, I'm sorry, Jonas, for me has to say, this season coming up, also next season coming up, he needs to embrace the occasion. He has a full season at Emirates Stadium. Please get past the qualifying stages. Surely now he can step up if he makes the right signings. But for me, personally, he needs to improve his tactical awareness as well. Sometimes and I said before, he needs to make subs a bit earlier than after 70 minutes, which is a bit too little too late for most girls. For some of them, they make no difference. And I'll blame him for it, because you can't just bring them 70 minutes, expect to say a player, and then somehow they think 20 minutes is enough. No, 20 minutes is never enough. Even in the men's we see, 20 minutes really sometimes, usually is not enough to make someone, tick and make the team, feel like, oh yeah, I'm here for the game. No, it's not enough. Just utilize, everyone. Try and rotate as well. Be a bit, be a bit more, have more freedom, in your tacticals, awareness. I mean, I'm not going to do all day about this, and I've noticed he's very, again, I'll say this, and I attacked Arteta a couple of weeks ago. He's very naive. I don't know. He's built in a different way. I don't know what's wrong with this man. Very disappointed with him.
You're definitely not one of his biggest fans. I know that much.
No, I'm not. I thought I liked him, but really I don't. After seeing that video, I'm already pissed off with him. Excuse me if I'm very angry. I am actually very angry, visibly inside, yes. After seeing him, yes, on Sunday, I'm happy. But with him, I'm not very happy with him.
Well, go and get him on the weekend, dude. It's all right.
Yeah, don't let him free it. Don't let him free it, man. I am going to go into the game on Sunday now, and I'm going to go to Dan first. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss the game. But whatever happens in this game, obviously there is still hope, isn't there? There is still hope that something potentially could happen. I know the chances are quite minimal, but we've seen De Bruyne and Ederson going off. You never know what's going to happen with that. It's going to be some atmosphere down there Sunday, isn't it? Like, I think the pubs even are going to be full, even when the game's kicking off with 60,000 in the stadium. There's probably going to be thousands and thousands in all these pubs. Are you going to be there Sunday? Are you looking forward to the occasion? And what kind of atmosphere would you think it'll be?
Mate, it's gonna be a wonderful atmosphere. Whatever happens, it's been a good season, and we've made progress again, and we're getting closer and closer. And it's only a matter of time now until we do finally get across the line. Even like you take Klopp's whole time there, he only won the title once. It's incredibly hard to go up
9 years, yeah.
And if I take what Arteta's doing, we're not one-dimensional. We got all different styles. Going away, I mean, I know Villa done the double of us, but everyone else, we went away and got positive results. Beat United, drew with Liverpool, drew with City, beat Tottenham. I think we beat Newcastle. Did we? I can't remember.
At home we did, didn't we?
At home we did, yeah.
Oh no, yeah. They beat us 1-0, that dodgy goal, didn't they, at their ground?
Yeah.
So I feel like we've got that nice plan B as well. And the set pieces. Like, we're doing everything we need to do to try and catch them a different way, like thinking outside or just perfecting everything else. So going back to Sunday though, it's gonna be a good atmosphere. I'm looking forward.
And the Invincibles are going to be there as well, and I believe they've invited them all.
That's a rumour, yeah.
That is the rumour. That did come out a few weeks ago, didn't it? I haven't heard much more about that, but that would be something that would be nice to see. Like, in terms of what it's called, could you imagine that the Invincible there and we won the title? Bloody hell, that'd be some time, wouldn't it?
I will be on the pitch naked. Go on. Oh, go on. You're fucking shit. You're fucking shit.
Oh, well.
Can you hear my wife, by the way?
Yeah.
She's getting their right up. Imagine
I
how my
bet
brother
she is.
feels. He's just on the sport to share of shit.
Just in that chance now.
I totally agree with you, though, Dan. I think it's going to be an incredible atmosphere. Obviously, what we've done this year, we've raised the bar again. It might not be good enough, but you know what? If it ain't good enough, like you said, we're playing against the juggernaut, aren't we? In terms of Man City, and yeah, we've done our very best to be fair this year, and it will be unfortunate that we do slip up. And I tell you what kills me is that we got stuck in between a Bayern Munich game where I just don't think Arteta knew whether to stick or twist.
Yeah,
In terms of that the performance, I think if that was in the week, we'd have won that game.
Yeah, and the Champions League is a learning process as well. It's our first time back in a long time. We were super nervy in those ties.
It's definitely getting nerve-wracking here, though, guys. It's definitely getting nerve-wracking.
What
So I'm going to go.
No, it is.
minute is
Man
it on?
City are getting really twitchy.
Oh, yeah,
It's
80th minute.
It's 80,
Yeah, it's on the
81
80th.
minutes, G.
And
And Spurs are
To be
pressing.
fair-
I said, I know I got moaned at just now, but saying they're having a go. But they are having a go.
They are.
Well,
They
it's not-
Just get one goal. Just
It's
one
no
fucking
coincidence.
goal.
Please.
Rush
It's,
Score
it's,
one.
One.
One little goal, yeah. I don't care.
it's no coincidence they bring the Arsenal fan on in Kudelski and suddenly they start attacking.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
right.
G, you're going to be there Sunday. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm up all weekend. I'm going to Meadow Park Saturday. I haven't got a ticket for the game, obviously Sunday, but I'm well in on the pubs. Just be there no matter what. I have been the last couple of years. Yeah, so I just want to. It's a nice chance to tie everything off and see everyone, isn't it? As well, despite what happens, just being together and being around the vibe. You know, that it's different, isn't it? No matter, like we said, no matter what happens on Sunday, what it is going into it, what it happens on the day. Obviously, it'll be devastating no matter what. But you know, just to be a part of that, I can't wait for it. And yeah, I think it's going to be a real. There's a lot of people already that haven't got tickets and are going around
It's
the
going to
going
be
around
absolutely
the hour.
rammed Sunday.
Yeah.
Absolutely rammo.
Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to it, and let's just hope that we can take it to the last couple of minutes as well, no matter what.
And like talking about West Ham, I'm going to go over to you, John. Obviously, I haven't had the best time with it lately whatsoever, but they still have decent players, don't they? And I think Moyes obviously being a former manager to Arteta will go out and obviously try and be competitive for the last game. I think he will try and do the right thing by the situation. You never know, do you, mate? You just never know. Like you've seen at the moment here, Ederson and De Bruyne have gone off, and Man City in the last 10-15 minutes, 32% possession. And like you said, Spurs are putting on the pressure. Could the harm thing happen?
Oh, I want to be positive. You're right. You just never know. I mean, you're right. David Moyes is a proper football manager. It could be his last ever managerial game. For all we know, we don't know what he might do in his future career. He deserves to go on a high with them. Jarrod Bowen, if he wants to go to the Euros, you would think he would need to do something very special on Sunday, get at least a goal or two, because I don't know if he'll make the plane, especially with Sancho now doing so well for Dortmund. So it's just little things like that. I mean, we'll remember the Aguero incident. Obviously, they played QPR that time, and QPR were rubbish, and they were winning, and it went wrong. But
yeah,
you never know. I mean, like I said, they have made hard work of this Man City tonight, and you know, it looks like they're going to win. But again, the pressure is on them because everyone's expecting, oh, that's it now. City have now won the league. So if West Ham can go out there and just keep it tight and do nothing silly, and, you know, sound silly, make them score the goal. And if they can keep a 0-0 for a while, if we can get off to a good start and go like 2-0 up at half time, we'll be, you know, the pressure's back on them. All we can do is just, win our game and see. We knew this was going to be the case. Like I said, the place will be pumping. Everyone, you know, will be so proud of the team and there'll be a great atmosphere. And, you know, the players will get the backing they deserve. And you just never know. I mean, it would be amazing if West Ham could do something. It would be. Yeah. You just never know. I mean,
you never know, do you?
Goal, but,
No.
you know, no, you never know. That's the thing with football. People go, oh, that's it. But you just never know. I mean, you know, when Liverpool lost at home at Palace. I mean, I know Palace got a good run. It's just a surprise results. You do get them. We just have to hope it happens on Sunday. You just have to hope.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because obviously, like you said, like it's a shame. Like it was just a shame Palace had Man City when they had Man City. I'd love to see someone like Palace go up today. I think that would have been the
I think they definitely.
If there's an informed team at the moment, they would have been.
Oh, you're fucking shit! You're fucking shit!
And that is why I've never liked the geezer. There you go. There's the chance.
There's it goes. And
oh my god, it was a 1-on-1.
Now, Liam, you're glad I asked that question before the show starts, didn't you? Yeah, because you know who missed, didn't you? Yeah. See. Yeah.
That is a big chance. A miss. The goalkeeper's come to the rescue.
1-on-1 is a good save. Oh,
I think that could be the chance. I think that could be the chance.
Mate. More reason to hate him.
I had no confidence. No, even when he went for, I don't want to sound negative, but I never.
That was a Man City balls up, mate.
There'll be another chance. There'll be a lot of minutes added on after this.
I think it's going to be at least 7, mate. 6-7 minutes.
I was saying to stop his medicine, yeah.
Pathetic finish as well. He just hit it straight.
It would.
Guardiola's on the floor and everything.
It would fall to someone like him that's been that who'll try to appease the Tottenham fans. So
I do think that's in the back of his mind, mate. I do think that would be in the back of his mind. I think.
Why did he lob him? Why did he not lob him?
He has that chance against us. He don't miss. Yeah, I mean,
the problem we got now is if Spurs score now, not only.
So I just sent a message to one of my friends. I can't repeat it, but
not only do they win the title, not only would they potentially win us the title, they're not even going to get Champions League football even now. And you don't want to be that player, do you? You don't want to be that player. It's got to be running through your mind.
They just zoomed in on the Man City fans. What a fan base! Sorry, there's been no singing at the stand. Just winds me up. I'm sorry, I'm going to go down a little rant now, but I know we don't like them. But when I was on the toilet earlier, I'm not going to lie, and I was watching a video, and it had Richard Keys and Andy Gray and Jason McAteer. Now I don't like any of them, but even they piped up and said about these charges. And Richard Keys went for all of them. They got 30 odd charges and this and that. How the hell have they got away with it? Even they can't believe it, and they're dodgy as fuck. I mean, surely it's got to come at some point. I see Guardiola in this press conference this week getting really arsy with some people because they're asking these questions. And I heard a rumour the other week. I mean, I know he has so many rumours, but they reckon there's a possibility he could resign at the end of the season because he knows what's coming. But I just don't know how they're getting away with it. I mean, they're a relentless machine. They're a magnificent team, but they're fucking cheating. All these 115. It's just, it probably sounds like sour grapes, isn't it? I'm not going to lie, it kind of is. But they cheated at the end of the day. You know what I mean? The poor Everton Forest, they couldn't wait to do them. It's bullshit. Honestly, it's just bullshit. Sorry, that's the other one.
It's another one of salting the wounds, but do you know what? In some ways, and I'll be honest about this, like when they do it, they need to do it at an end of the season or before the start of the season. What I don't want, is listen to their excuses. The only reason we won the league or they won the league is because
you want to win it on merit. Yep, definitely.
I don't want to win it like that. Do you know what I mean? I want to win it that we actually deserve to win it.
Square.
It is what it is, isn't it? It's the unhidden story at the moment, which no one wants to talk about. No, there's obviously reasons why no one wants to talk about it.
It's a penalty.
To who?
Penalty, Man City.
Yeah.
And that's probably it now. That's game over. That's game over. So,
fucking son, honestly.
What in motherfuckers?
You're probably going to get the old.
Because 1-0 would have been the best case scenario for a win goal difference wise, but now
who's taking
one behind?
It'll be Harden, won't it?
My wife said over. She's not happy. Yeah. It's.
I don't know. Is it?
Put it back on, darling.
It's a penalty. Yeah, it's a penalty.
That's it is.
Yeah.
I'm way behind, so I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
When I see one clip, I was thought, did he go over too easy there? But yeah, it's a penalty.
Yeah. And he should have had a penalty.
Well, the only good thing about it is Spurs ain't getting Champions League football this year. So there you go.
There you go. Swings
Yeah.
and roundabouts.
And there you go.
Well, it's
10
injury
minutes,
time.
there was 10 minutes of
Yeah.
injury time as well.
Honestly, bloody
So, of course
son.
it was.
Honestly.
Well, looks
There
like
was
we're
10
Hamas
minutes of
fans
injury
now.
time. That would have been an interesting 10 minutes.
It would have been if Spurs had scored, mate, because City would have been wobbling. Oh,
Strangely, Son will go down
no.
and be a hero now.
Yeah, he will be. There'll be some little shitty song and everything. Yeah.
Legendary status, building a statue. What
There we
Yeah.
statue will be
go.
missing that?
Yep. Oh, beautiful. Turn it off. Yeah, fuck off, Hardy.
now.
They can't. Oh.
Never going to miss, though, is he? Never going to
No,
miss.
he's not. The only good thing is I've got him as my triple captain in my fantasy team.
Hey,
so
so
swings
have I.
around about. Yeah, go on. Yeah. So I should hopefully top my little mini league now. So
Yeah.
So,
no one else, yeah. But
Joe G.
never mind.
how does Arteta manage this now in terms of going into the training tomorrow? Obviously, the players will probably feel a little bit deflated how this has kind of ended up, considering the chances Spurs have had. But he's got to get them up, isn't he? Surely it ain't going to take much to get them up, but we still got to make sure that we do that job on Sunday and at least force Man City to win the game, because at the moment, and this is quite an interesting thing, if Man City drew on Sunday, at the moment, we will still have the goal difference.
We're plus one better, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus
one
one.
better, can't we? Yeah.
And even if they score another one, it'll be 0. But if they drew and we won, we'd get the +1. So
Yeah. Go on.
in some ways, yes, maybe they haven't won the game. But if they're drawing against Tottenham today, for likelihood they're drawing against Tottenhm, they would have known what they need to do in terms of scoring goals. Where now they've just got to win the game. If they draw the game and Arsenal win the title.
Do you,
There
Hard
isn't
do
the right.
to- It's
you
hard
trust
now,
West
isn't
Ham,
it?
mate? Come on, it's West Ham. The West Ham's record is not exactly fantastic.
No,
is it?
shh, we're having positive thoughts. So
No,
we're
it's
going
not.
down
No, it's
the
not.
road.
No, it's not. But
Come
I'm
on.
just like I'm watching this. That's
But they-
why my mind's just gone now because there's this.
I know. But
Yeah.
yeah, Liam's right. West Ham are going to beat Man City and we're going to win the league. And we'll,
Yeah.
be,
no,
doing
they're
a
not
naked
going to
conga.
draw against Man City, mate. They're going to draw.
We'll be doing a naked conga around Finsbury Park.
Park
Have a
the
great
bus,
time.
FC. Park the bus. I don't care.
Park the
Yeah.
bus, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Moyes' last game. That's the way to go out.
That would be nice. I'm not,
That would be typical Moyes, wouldn't it? Go out that way.
it would
Some
be,
of those
yeah.
players will be playing to get a bigger club.
I just don't like the smirking in the celebration as well.
It's
wanna
hard.
punch them.
It's got a very punchable face. All I would say, Arteta just needs to go to the players. You know what? He's weird. Just go and enjoy yourselves. Just go and do your thing. I'll give Everton a good hiding, and we'll see. You know, that's all we can do is win our game and see. You know, like I said, it'll be a packed house. Everyone will be, well up for it. Just play as we've been playing. You know, Everton have got nothing to play for, so you would expect us to win. I know, but yeah, good 3-4-0 win, and then we'll wait and see. You never know.
You never know, do you? You never know.
Not over until it's
Um,
over.
No, it's just.
Exactly.
No, exactly. All we can do is keep going. Win our last game. We knew this was going to be the case.
Mhm.
We had to win our games to see what happens. And yeah, sadly, everyone else is just useless. So never
It's
mind.
what we're up against we dropped points once this year in the league.
That Villa game, I was there as well.
Yeah.
It's just, it's okay. And the most annoying thing as well, you see what's happened to Aston Villa ever since that. That was their performance
No.
of the season, and they've gone to shit in every other game. It's
Mm.
amazing.
Well, this is the thing though. This January till now has shown really. You have got to win a league now against this City side with Pep there. You have got to be 9 on perfect.
It's incredible. It's such a pressure. It's just.
The problem lies out of December, don't it? Like Aston Villa's. Do you know what? Right, Aston Villa's a choker. I think experience will be learnt from that in terms of how to manage that in between Champions League games. But for me,
It's a West Ham game.
that December was disastrous in terms of the Fulham and the West Ham game. And even if we just won one of them games now, we'd have won the title. And I know everyone looks back at the Aston Villa game, and it is the defining game that will obviously lose us the title. But you just look at it and you think the run we've gone on, we've only dropped a draw at Man City, the best team in the country anyway, if not the world. Okay, we could have tried to go there and got a win, but do you know what? Tactically, I don't know if we're good enough to do that at the moment, to go there and win. And you look at the Aston Villa game, and as I said, it's just we just got stuck in between the Champions League, and it's cost us everything. That week has cost us everything, and it's gutting. But you know what? What's pleased me is that after that, we've gone to Wolves 2.5 days after and won 2-0 then when we was on the floor. We went and battered Chelsea. We went to Spurs, our biggest rivals, and beat them. Do you know what I mean? We've also gone to Manchester United and beat them.
Yeah. Broke a horrible record, you know.
Yeah, broke a record that hasn't been there.
Yeah.
And you look at the Bournemouth game. Okay, we expect to win the Bournemouth game, but you look at how we've the application we've shown ourselves in that after what happened at Aston Villa, and it's been spot on again. And yeah, I just think we got stuck in. I think we just got stuck in between that Champions League, and we didn't know how to stick or twist. And it's gutting, but I just think also it just shows you that the first 11's good.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the squad, maybe we are just lacking a little bit where Man City have that little bit extra that they can mix it up in certain games and be able to still deliver the results. And
players as well, because he's not afraid to take out Haaland and put him on the bench one game, is he? He's not afraid to do that because he has someone else that can, not obviously as good as him, but someone else that is going to fill in and do the job. Whereas they have
Step up,
whole front five, should we say, of constant rotation and fitness, and we just have those guys, and then one person might come on off the bench. So yeah, that would be something to improve on once we've got more players to be able to do that.
And the other thing, guys, just remember, the pressure's not on us Sunday now. The pressure's not on us Sunday. Maybe that's a good thing as well. Like, we know Man City deal with better pressure better than anyone. And look, we know 98% out of 100, I'll go 99, they're going to win the game. But you know what? Maybe us being behind at the moment might not be a bad thing, because it won't cause us to have that pressure. Like, there couldn't be anything worse now than leading this title race going into the last game and then choking because the pressure got too much.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, I'm just, you know me, I'm going to stay optimistic till I know Man City are 2 goals ahead of West Ham. I'm going to stay optimistic till that moment.
It would be such a last game of the season thing, though.Est Ham score early on, and everyone's, you know, it just happens so many times, you know. Well, that's the thing. We go into an early lead. West Ham, you just don't know. Little things like West Ham, you know, Bowen breaks through and he gets wiped out. The player gets sent off early. You just don't know. You just don't know. We just have to hope. We just win and just hope that something lovely happens up there. You know, that's all we can do.
I was about to say, this is the thing. A couple of years ago, City got out of jail on the last day because they went into the last game of the season. They were top of the league, them and Liverpool. And I was at the obviously, this is when we played Everton in the last game. We won 5-0. We came 5th in the top 4. But yeah, they were 2-0 down at half time to Aston Villa.
That's right. Yes.
And it was literally 85th minute. It was 2-0 down still, and in the last 5 minutes they turned it around on the skin of their teeth. But Liverpool didn't, in that time frame, didn't capitalise. Put that pressure on. Because I think if Liverpool had capitalised, maybe it might have been a different outcome, because it would have fed through to City and they would have panicked a bit more, overplayed a pass here or there. And we just got to say, come Sunday now, if the opportunity arises, as I say, pressure's off us in that sense. So we're not leading it. Just get the early goal at the Emirates on Sunday, and see what happens with the with West Ham. West Ham can hold, because City are obviously they're winning, so they're won tonight, but they haven't been at their fluent.
Is it finished?
Well, it's 98th minute, but the minute there's minutes to go, isn't it? So it's just like
They gave us
back on there. They're still going.
They haven't been at their fluent best tonight, and they're still got out.
It's all that matters. Yeah, it's all that matters.
I mean, there was a few weeks ago they played Forest. If Forest had a clinical finisher, they would have won that game.
Chris Wood, Jesus, Lord alive, yeah.
Oh no,
that's the difference. If they don't do that again on Sunday, for example, against West Ham for Bowen, for example, you never know. That's what we've got to hope for now. We know it's out of our hands, but we just hope.
You never know. Like, as I said, you know the calls. They know the calls. Yeah, they do know the calls. But they panicked against QPR, and like, they don't get me wrong, they delivered on both these occasions. But they did deliver against QPR in the end, even though it took a 95th minute, and they were 2 down to Aston Villa at home in the last game. So you never know.
But just think the player of the match.
Who got it?
Ortega, the substitute goalkeeper. Man City.
Well, to be fair, I think he deserves man of the match, mate. I think he's potentially one of the
Doesn't say much for the rest of the team, though, does it?
No. Well, Man City
Done that.
being
That
bang
level's
average.
right.
They won the game.
Haaland's
They won the game.
But Haaland scored 2 goals, and the goalkeeper that's come on for the last 20 minutes has got man of the match.
I think he deserves it, though, mate. To be honest, I think.
That's my point. They haven't
Pitch
been
it
there.
straight at him, mate.
They
Oh,
haven't been at their
mate.
best at all. They haven't been at their best at all, have they? So
Nah.
Oh,
we just need a moment where they think, oh, maybe I don't know. The longer it stays 0-0 at the Etihad, the better potentially for us.
I do think there's a little bit in the Spurs player's mind. Like, do I want to be that player who equalises?
That's Son. That's what I'm saying. It's 1-0.
Yeah.
Son scoring goal. Why does he love the goalkeeper? He was way off his line.
Especially as it doesn't benefit Spurs whatsoever. If it's 1-1 or 0-0, you know, maybe it's level, then it benefits Spurs because they'll get Champions League. But at 1-0 down, they're never going to go and win that game 2-1. Do you want to be that Spurs player who scores that goal, then Arsenal win the title? It's in the back of their mind, mate.
They could have just got the equaliser and then gone, you know what, we're part of the bus with a draw. But no.
It's on social media, mate. There'll be so many people giving them the abuse.
They're never going to do that. But yeah, like it's interesting, isn't it? Like, obviously you'll get all this now, but
We've got the Chelsea fans coming in.
yeah.
Chelsea, mid-table Chelsea, cool.
Yeah, brilliant.
Why about your own team, love? Billy quid on your way off us, so let's not go there.
But yeah, like, at least we've got something to look forward to last game of the season. Do you know what I mean? Not sure there's many out there, Dav, at the moment.
No,
So
absolutely not, no. And I bet Sky are annoyed as well because their last day of the season's, well, apart from Man City and Arsenal games, what other game they're going to show now? Top 4 sewn up.
yeah, Aston Villa, obviously. Well done to Aston Villa.
Yeah, so what are they going to show?
Yeah.
Like Spurs, who cares?
to fight for your
Is it-
league.
Fight for 5th place, yeah. Great.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? With Aston Villa now getting Champions League, which is obviously a major achievement for Aston Villa.
But
No
the
one
players
would-
are relieved. They wouldn't want to go to Palace, needed to win. The form there.
Nah. I don't think they would have won there. To be fair, I think if Spurs had somehow got the win today, I think Spurs would have seen that one home. But then it would have probably been typical Spursy, the only team to go and lose to Sheffield United.
Yeah. They still might, to be fair.
Well, there ain't much to go. That I think that would just end up being like a slobber knocker now. You'd probably end up like 4-3 to Spurs.
You know
or
what's
something
funny?
like that.
A couple of years ago, Newcastle relegated. I think they played Tottenham. Did they beat them 4-5-0? I think if I'm correct.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
was
that?
hilarious. Literally, I was walking. Newcastle got relegated, right?
Yeah, it's 5-1, wasn't it? And then didn't they have a player sent off as well,
Yeah,
Newcastle?
Yes. Yeah. No. Well, one of them did. I'm a Mitrovic doing this a lot. Like, hell, man.
It ain't won yet, though, guys. They've still got to go and do West Ham, mate.
Oh, it's
They've
not,
still got to go and do West Ham.
it's not over yet. Of course not. There's only 2 points in it. Anything can happen.
Oh, West Ham, it's all down to you.
West Ham could turn up, park the bus, get a draw, and we win. Then we do it by goal difference by 1. Either way.
Everybody are.
That's the only good thing, isn't it,
Bubbles in the
Goal.
air.
It's not going to come down to goals now.
No.
It's not going to come down to goals. Do you know what? Like, in some ways, like, I was quite comfortable that we had the goals that we needed. But I was looking at it today. If they drew today, then we'd be like, I think a two goal lead over them, or something like that, a 2-3 goal lead.
It'd been three goals.
With Man City, you never know, do you? You still might need to score 4 goals before to win the league. So it does come down. It does come down to obviously Man City winning it, and you'd like, as I said, you would expect them to do it now. But you never know. You never know.
So bored seeing them win it all the time.
Yeah. But they've manipulated it, didn't they? In terms of like they bullied everyone, like every game nearly. You look at it, teams have got no confidence to go and play them. Like even down to the Manchester United era, like teams would still go to Man United and give it a go, wouldn't they? But you see teams with Man City, teams are too scared even to come out and even try and play them.
Very true.
Like you look at Fulham the other day, Dan. Like they didn't know what to do, mate. They just didn't know what to do. It's just like they know before they've hit the tunnel that they're not going to win. And the problem is, there's only one or two teams in that whole league that really can attempt to give Man City a game. And do you know what? Fair play to us that we haven't conceded against them in the Premier League this year. How the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
They've hardly had a shot on target.
And
Mm.
I think, obviously, our Chelsea mate here. I think Chelsea didn't lose to them this year. I think Chelsea and Arsenal are the only team, and Liverpool didn't lose to them either, did they? So there's only a selected amount of teams. That's why I said earlier on, I do think Chelsea will rise again next year. So I think they will be someone who can compete with Man City and give them a game. But when I look at it, I just look at Arsenal, Liverpool, potentially them next year. I don't see who else.
I don't see Liverpool at all. I think they're going to fall apart, mate.
I don't see who else though. I just don't see it. Yeah, you're probably right, mate.
Yeah.
It's a two-horse race. It's a two-horse race between us and City.
So. Yeah, I think so.
United are United. Spurs are Spursy.
Chelsea have spent loads of money, but they got a Jill. So you see how long it's taken them this season. You know.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will be in and around, but I don't think they'll be there the whole way.
No.
Delusion's always been Gav's one of my Gav's strengths. I see.
Yeah.
Just not good enough in the cup semi-final when they lost.
I'll tell you what, Gav. If we do win it, mate, I'll send you some fucking videos of myself. You won't need to go direct to Ryan for it, mate. I'll send them specifically to you.
What a treat.
Colonel says as well, Villa, a few weeks ago, rotating their squad suddenly, injuries, and then they're back, or they're ill, and they're back the next game.
Yeah, it's just...
I mean, come on, like, and then they come to the Emirates, full fit squad. There you go, off you go, do your best.
Yeah, he rested Martinez, didn't he? It's just, yeah.
Martinez, Ollie Watkins was ill apparently, then back against him 4 days later. This is what we say. There's like no one tries apart from ourselves, like we mentioned ourselves this season. Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester Derby has been pointless this year. Everton was just no one tried. No, too much respect. There's too much of a fear factor. Okay,
That's exactly what it is.
Fulham at the weekend just went 1-0 already. Okay, we'll just lay down, tickle our pennies.
Too scared of getting thrashed.
And they got thrashed anyway. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
And people keep going. People say this is bitter from us, from our point of view, but they say this is the best league in the world. What a team that wins it constantly, no matter who goes up against them, year in, year out, no matter what. We've in 2024, from January New Year's Day till now, we have played how many games? We've drew one game, lost one, won the rest, and it's not good enough to win the title.
Yeah.
How is that even physically? It's like I'm saying the other day on a match of the day stream. You've effectively got to go pretty much unbeaten now, and even then, it's got to be more wins than draws to win this league.
Yeah, Man City set the bar, but it's going to push us on. I still think we're going to do it.
We'll push on, yeah. It's just a matter of how long Pep sticks around now. If he does bugger off this summer, fantastic. If he sticks around for another year,
I think he sticks around for another year. I think he tries to go for the Champions League again.
He won 5 in a row as well. He's got 4. He'll go from 5.
I think after next year, right. All depends, don't it, with all this situation. I don't know what will happen at the end of it all. I don't know the ins and outs. You know what I mean? I only read what everyone else reads. But you from Pep Guardiola's perspective, you look at how much more hungry can he stay with this team? Like, I'm not sure if he can. I think he goes for the Champions League again next year. And I think if he wins the Champions League again next year, then I think he then kind of probably will then potentially walk away from it. Because you look at De Bruyne as well. He's getting older, isn't he? That'd be a big piece. How does he replace De Bruyne? Unbelievable player, by the way. And yeah, like I know, man, we give Man City some shit, but from a personal level, De Bruyne, like, he's one of the best players I've ever seen play in the Premier League. Period. Like, even today, he's a difference maker. He's the difference maker today. He just changes it all, doesn't he? He can be anywhere on the pitch and create something out of nothing. Sooner he gets bored and decides that he wants to give it jacket in, it'd be better as well. But no, he's a fantastic player, and
Yeah.
I just think that if he does win the Champions League next year, I think that pretty much might be it for him.
Yeah.
Pep.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Foden looks like he's just getting better and better. He's going to be like the new De Bruyne, isn't he?
I hate him as a person, but as a player, he's been unbelievable. Like this season, especially I'd say from December onwards, he's been absolute sensational for them. And he's gone to a different level with them, and I think he's the big piece this year. Like De Bruyne's come back, don't get me wrong, and done what he's done, but I think in certain games, Phil Foden has kind of single-handedly won games for and I look at that Man United game. They were struggling in, weren't they, at home? Man United, I think it was 1-0 down at one point, and then
1 down. Rashford scored.
He just scored some. I think he scored a couple that day, didn't he? But one of his goals was
Yeah.
But he needs to do it for England in the summer. Well, Southgate needs to get the very best out of him first and foremost. Like when you start looking at this England team, by the way, and you start looking at the talent, Cole Palmer, Saka, you look at Phil Foden, Harry Kane, just banging at the end.
Harry Maguire.
Yeah, Harry Maguire.
Sorry.
But you look at this team, you think if you give Pep Guardiola that team, he wins everything with that team internationally.
Yeah. That's just going to be another.
Wenger, mate. Wenger would have done a good job.
He wins everything with his team. All right, some unbelievable talent. You've got Declan Rice, you've got Bellingham. I haven't even mentioned them two yet, have I? Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, like the talent we've got. And I don't think we need to play Maguire. That's the thing.
Definitely.
Dare I say it? How much I don't like him. I'd put Dyer in front of fucking Maguire at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Let's not be too hasty.
Jordan Pickford would be great, no? Jordan Pickford would be great in that back line.
But he's got to improve as a player, like playing in the Champions League, playing like for a decent team, not like a team that kind of like Bayern Munich. Like you sit there, you think, well, he's a centre back for Bayern Munich's first team at the moment. Do you know what I mean? How the fuck would Maguire getting in front of him? Like Maguire's a joke.
Is John Stones injured?
Totally honest. Pardon?
John Stones injured. I don't know. Did he play tonight? I don't remember seeing him.
He was on the bench.
I was on the bench.
That's fine. Let him rest. If we need him, we'll be fit.
Here's Gav's question. I'm going to give this one to you, G. What would you say is missing from a winning a title next season? What? Like, don't get me wrong, Timber and Partey, I think if they're fit for the whole season, I think the Premier League comes home. I honestly do. Partey, for me, I think it's time to replace. What do you think? Do you think a striker's needed, or do you think we look for a left winger?
Winger, I think. You can just tell Saka's not. The other day, he was terrible, wasn't he? Like, he couldn't even put a pass together. And you just think the poor guy has been drilled so much, kicked around, all for however many games he's ended up playing, and no one is you're not gonna bring on Reece Nelson, are you? Like, it's just not happening. No. So yeah, it's got to be that, isn't it? Because I don't want to jinx it, but the goals hasn't been our issue really. I know sometimes we could have scored a bit more, or there's been some games where we've created loads and haven't actually scored, but actually the amount of goals between the attacking players, it's all shared. It's not like we're desperate for a goal, but yeah, it would be backup for Saka 100%. Everyone else has it, so why can't we have it? Why do we have to be the ones to just rinse a young player till he's basically limping everywhere, can't walk, being sliced a leg open, and still play him for most of the game? But yeah, then the other option would obviously be a second striker, because Jesus has not been at it whatsoever, and thank God we haven't seen Eddie for a while either. I mean, when you look at that, when you look away from the starting 11, you look at the bench, you think, what really do you have? And that's been the issue, hasn't it? I know now that some of the injuries have come back in, it's starting to look a bit better, but still, when you're down to it and you need something to happen, and you've already brought on like Martinelli or Trossard, who else are you going to bring on? I think that's the difference for sure.
Well, do we say then, Ryan, 89 points potentially with that bench? With that bench that's part of our squad is an incredible achievement in itself.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Especially one of the players in the match has already been mentioned is Eddie, who's pretty much been non-existent. This is the thing. Like you say, you've got to look at it like that as well, because we've not really used Eddie in this running, have we? Like the second half of the season, like, very rarely seen him come off the bench, even as like cameo and all that. And obviously, you've got Fabio Vieira had these injuries, and he was recently said his partner had a newborn child. And obviously, there's something not right there in terms of he started the season off so well, and then on the injury, and then Partey's just coming back, and then he had a stinker against United, but we just got through it. It is what it is. It's going to be a bit. There's going to be a bit of a clear out, I think, coming in terms of the squad players. We are going to see a clear out. I think weeks now. So I know we do want to make some money out of him, but again, we've barely seen him this season. So just when you actually look back at it, no matter what happens on Sunday, coming second to this City side by 2 points. With looking at the entire squad, and you say you've got Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe's barely played this season. To the devil, so he wants to play out as well. You've got to take your hats off to this team and Arteta and what we've got to, but we do. This is the summer now, where some of them, if not most of them, have got to go, and we've got to bring in replacements that are upgrades on them, and also for me. Get a winger in terms of to back up Saka, like it's been mentioned already, and we need a clinical striker. Just that we need that Han and what Chelsea had years ago, Diego Costa, the Drogbas. We need that absolute presence that will just be there when you need them to be there. No matter what, they'll be there in the box, outside the box, and they'll go bang. And just take them chances that we've been missed. And we have missed some chances this year. Does not get it twisted. Especially the first half of the season. If you get that lethal presence of a striker, I think that's that. And talking about the squad, upgrading some of our squad players. I think we're golden. I think Zinchenko's just been mentioned there. I think his time's done. I think he's one of the players in the squad. I think he's one of the squad players that I think his time is done at the club. We've got Tomiyasu, who's not even a natural left back playing left back, can do a better job than him there. Julian Timber was meant to be the replacement for Zinchenko this season, but the ACL's done what it's done to him. I mean, and obviously got the Kivior as well that can play left back. So I think Zinchenko's now surplus to requirements. Yes, he brought the mentality when he did, and it was great that the mentality he brought to the club to push us up a bit. But as a player now, do we really need him next season? With all due respect, yes, he has experience, but we can't have to pay someone away just because they've got experience. They're not offering nothing on the pitch, and defensively get found out against everyone, even the likes of all due respect to Sheffield United or Luton. Is that so? It's a bit of tinkering in the squad. Add a winger, an out-and-out striker, and I think we're golden. And the thing is, a striker, you don't have to play every game. You can rotate the system then to have Havertz as a false nine or Trossard as a false nine and things like that. But it's mixing it up and keeping everyone on their toes as well. But having that someone there that you know is one way or the other's playing in them games that's going to score the goals either way, be it starting or from the bench.
I think it is interesting. I think like if the perfect striker comes up in some of them, you go for him, don't you?
Yeah.
It all depends whether that striker is available. Like for me, I don't really see moving forwards how Jesus and Zinchenko kind of progressing this team. Now I know there's been comments that Jesus will stay next year. Struggling to see where he's going to play. He's going to be a squad player at most. Does he go back out onto the potential left-hand side? I don't know. For me, I think left wing's a big one at the moment. I think Martinelli needs some really proper competition, but like he needs to progress now. Next season's a big season for him because he hasn't had the best of seasons. I think Saka's been worked to the ground over the last 3 years, and We're seeing it, and we need now to stop the bullshit. Get a right winger in. Get someone in of a level. I've always said, like, I'd go for Elise personally. Absolute superb player. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't have to always play on the right hand side as well. Saka doesn't always have to play on the right hand side.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Why not have one on the left, one on the right? Why not also switch? Do you know what I mean? In certain games, we need to get him adequate cover. So, do you know what? When we get to the business end of the season, he's producing like he does at the start of every season. But he's beaten up. Poor kid's beaten up, and he's got a whole Euros ahead of him now. Do you know what I mean? That he's going to have to obviously play for. So he's not getting. What breaks he going to get? We need to go out and buy this right winger. But that's why I'm sitting there thinking we need a right winger, but we need a left winger, but we need a striker. I think we still need 3 players in that front position alone.
That's it. Go for it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But the centre midfielder is massive as well. If you get the right centre midfielder in, and I think that is it. I think that would be his first focus would be to get the right centre midfielder in. Thomas Partey, for me, not done enough over the last couple of seasons. Okay, yeah, he's got us through this back end of the season, but let's be realistically honest now. Realistically honest, he's played 5 games, 6 games. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Liam, I've been calling for him to be gone since October because of that.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
Reliable.
Yeah, good time to keep in.
We have been linked though with Frankie De Jong recently, so I don't know if that's something to read into.
Well, you put him Odegaard and Rice in there, mate. That's a midfield for the next. That's yet again like the centre backs. That's your key position set out for the next 3 to 4 years at the very least. Do you know what I mean? So there is a big summer. Like you can't go and buy everyone. So I think we'll be lucky to potentially. I think we'll definitely get a centre midfielder. Then I don't know. I think he'll go for a centre forward, but I want to see a winger as well. They'll be the 3 players, and then potentially a left back. But then you look at Ramsdale. He's going to go in. So you're going to need to get a goalkeeper as well. Goalkeeper's definitely going to come in because Ramsdale's definitely going. So a goalkeeper will come in, and then if Zinchenko does go, then you need a left back as well. Could Hato come?
We've got Kivior, we've got Tommy Asu, we've got obviously Julian coming back as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I think he's surplus to confidence in general because we've got 3 players that can play that position anyway, better. And all three of them aren't natural left backs.
Emil Smith Rowe.
It's an interesting one. I don't know. It depends on Arteta's mindset. I personally want to let him go.
He's definitely going. Yeah, he'll go Newcastle or something like that.
I
Maybe
think
Aston Villa, possibly.
He's got to the point that he needs to do the right thing for his career at Emil Smith Rowe. Does he want to be a first team player for someone and then try and compete and try and get back into the England reckoning, or does he want to sit on a bench for Arsenal? Where's he going to play? He ain't going to play in that team, mate. He ain't going to play in that team. He can't continue to sit on the bench. Do you know what I mean? And when we see like some of the youngsters that we have got coming through, I think that we could potentially replace it potentially with one of them. If I'm being totally honest, so I do think that he's potentially one that will go out in the summer. I don't know what you'll get for him now though. 30 to 40 million. I don't think you can demand much more.
Yeah, it's a game rate, I think.
So it's going to be
interesting. Premier League and English tax, so it depends.
He could be used as a make weight for someone else.
Gav wants Ramsdale. To be fair, what they've got, Ramsdale would be a good signing for them.
I don't
be interested in what the fee would be for that though. It's got to be 40 million. 40 million, I would expect.
It's Chelsea, like splashing the cash. Give us 80.
I've heard Newcastle, because I've heard Nick Pope ain't going to be the same. I wouldn't be surprised if they come in. Eddie Howe had him down there at Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather he went in than Chelsea.
As I say, as we all say, either way, come the next season, we all know we're going to be up. It'll be us and City going toe to toe again. It's just a matter of doing the business in the summer and going that one step further.
At least Cedric would have left.
Third time lucky, maybe.
Well, him and Nenny, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think next year's. I'm so looking forward to next year because I just think that for the first season we potentially have the squad that. And do you know what I mean? Like, you get Timber back as well. That's been a big miss. I think we play a totally different way with Timber as well. There was definitely a method to Arteta's well, I don't even know if I call it madness, just his selection on that first game of the season. I'm not saying that he sees Partey as a right back, but I think he sees a team with Timber at left back, potentially maybe quite a robust right back. But you've seen it in Ben White now. Ben White's adapted superbly well over this season. We've seen a total different Ben White for me over the last 4 or 5 months. For me, if you said to me one player that stood out consistently over since probably Christmas, Ben White would be top of it.
Yeah, he's like one of the best right backs in the Premier League now, I think.
In the world.
Should be the England squad. Like it's disastrous that hasn't been sorted, really, ain't it? It's disastrous that it hasn't been sorted. Like he should be playing for England. I don't know the ins and outs, but do you know what I mean? Like surely Southgate even wants him in the squad. He's talking that he wants him in, but Ben don't want to come in for whatever reason. Get the situation sorted because it's harbouring both, in my opinion. It's harbouring both of them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, but do you know what? We're going to call it a day. We moved to Sunday, people.
Yeah.
We moved to Sunday. The miracle we're praying for now is gonna get. He's in the hands of West Ham and David Moyes in his last ever game. At West Ham as manager, you can't make it up, can you? But do you know what? What I'm going to say is I'm going to end it on a good note. It's been a season where we can look at and say, do you know what? If we do fall short, we know where we kind of fall short. But 89 points, if we get to 89 points by Sunday and beat Everton, that's for me is the best points total forever in terms of our club.
Since we won the league,
yeah, it's not won the league. It's not where we want to be. It's not good enough. We want to win titles, and we have to go again next year. And hopefully we'll go out and buy the players next year to not just hunt Man City down again and get the results off them, because we did get 4 points out of 6, but them little games that have kind of come a cropper with us this year, we just need to do a little bit better. So yeah, it is what it is.
Just remember, it could be worse. It could be Old Trafford and flooding.
I didn't even get to send pictures, mate. It could be, couldn't it? It things could be much worse. Right. Before we go, score predictions for Sunday. You ain't getting away with it, guys. Ryan, what are you going for?
5-0. They've got nothing to play for themselves. We're at home. It'll be a party. No matter what, it'll be a party atmosphere from our point of view as well. The rumours are true. It's got the Invincibles there. Wenger's going to be there as well, along with other members of staff, a part of that from 20 years ago. Yeah. And as I say, they'll be on the beach themselves. They've nothing to fight for themselves now. I think I'd say 5. No more than that.
Yeah. Yourself, G?
I'm going to go 4. Yeah, 4 now.
Cool. Guna?
6. Well, why not?
Bess?
I call it 6 as well.
Good boy.
I had a dream about it in my power nap, so fuck it. Let's go.
Well, I had a dream. I was walking to the Emirates on the last game of the season in our own hands. So dreams don't fucking.
You know what's
come
funny?
true.
I think I had you and G beside me, Liam. I had you and G beside me thinking, yeah, 6. Something happened. I'm like, it's a dream. Wake up. It's a dream. It's a dream. Wait.
Pinch yourself.
And
I know.
yourself?
I know. I've literally when it's a dream.
Yeah.
What are you going for?
I was gonna go 5, but I'm gonna go 3 now because they're the second best defense. I feel like they're gonna just part the bus the whole game. I think we'll get an early goal, but I think 3. Yeah.
I'm gonna lower the mood. I'm gonna go 2-0. Right. The reason I'm gonna go 2-0. Yeah.
You said you're going to be positive.
Yeah, I am positive. It's a win. It's a win, isn't it? and the reason I'm going to go 2-0 is there, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen at Man City yet, right? And if there's something happening, yeah, right. The more important thing, if we go 2-0 up, would be not conceding, and it wouldn't surprise me if Arteta then probably what he did at Man United, just go, look, we're not going to do anything fucking stupid here. Don't go and push yourself out and try and get 3, 4, 5. Just make sure the win's the win first. So I think there'd be a little bit of tactical thinking to Arteta. I don't think he's the kind of manager that will get the team. I think if there was nothing riding on the game for both teams, I think I would say 5-6-0. Do you know what I mean? But
I'm gonna put this on
it's
later.
been
I'm praying.
Yeah. And we don't need to worry about goals now.
I'm putting this on before sleep, Liam. I'm gonna put this on before sleep tonight.
Yeah, good mate, good.
I'll watch
What you need,
documentary. You
What
watch
you
that,
need is
I'll watch documentary.
what you do need is a Judas masterclass on Sunday. Man City.
I will say this, that's on that as well, about 89. Wasn't in our hands, was it? We had to win by 2 clear goals and all that. I know it's different in circumstances, but the fact of the matter is it wasn't in our hands going to Anfield. And where we had 20, obviously 20 years on from the last title, not in our hands. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
No, you never know. No, you never know. We have to keep believing, because if we don't believe, and the players don't believe, then do you know what I mean? We're going to lose the game. We're going to win Sunday.
Also, it's my birthday. My birthday's on Monday. I want to see you guys celebrate with a trophy.
Oh mate,
Touch wood, mate. Touch wood.
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
That would be.
Obviously, Dan, absolute pleasure having you on, mate. Thank you for coming on tonight. We're always more than welcome to come on.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you guys, and thank you everyone in the chat. Hope we will do a show next week, obviously, to the rundown of obviously the last game of the season, the men and the women team. Thank you to my co-host G for obviously taking over control at the start of the show. And I look forward to seeing you at the weekend alongside the rest of you legends.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a little bit disheartening right now, but we'll be back in positive mood tomorrow morning and ready to go for the weekend.
And we're definitely doing shots, win, lose or draw.
The speech. It's the speech.
Yeah,
The
the end of season speech will be done this year. It's been done the last 2 years, is it? The
Yeah.
big end of season speech. There'll be a third one. There'll be a third one. Cool.
Good.
Yeah,
I'll show it on
Sorry.
you. Don't worry. As soon as I see it, I'll
Yeah.
put it up on everyone to see as well.
we'll get someone to record it. Yeah, and thank you everyone else. Sleep tight, guys. Keep dreaming, and we'll see you all at the weekend. Good night, all.
All right.